Number 1, factor out the GCF. So can we start with that? You guys remember how to do that? So factor out the GCF. Is that big enough for all to see? I think what's in common. What that is to these. Let's see how we're doing. We got an hour and 15. So that's how long you'll have for the real exam. Let's see how we can do on time. So take out what's in common.
So I thought I had listed on Monday. I have it on Monday. I don't know why.
Okay.
I'll be here Monday. Yeah, just, yeah.
All right. So, all right. What's the first step? What do these three have in common? 2x and y, right? Right. Remember, you got to get it all. You got to get all their commonness out. So don't just do the 2 or the x or the y. Get it all. 2x, right? They all 2 goes into all those numbers. You can use calculator. Use calculator on the test Monday, right? Not a cell phone. So but any calculator is fine, but not a cell phone. 2 goes into all those. They all have an x and they all have a y. So we take that out, and then we put one big parenthesis. My normal pencil thing is broken. So anyway, my writing's going to be like using big crayons tonight, but I'll do the best I can. So how do we know what goes in there in these 3 spots? It's just whatever works, huh? 2xy times what would go back to 2x cubed y? Remember, out front numbers multiply, powers add, right? So yeah, x squared. And yeah, that's it for that first one, huh? Because this x to the 1 power will add to the 2 power to go back to 3, huh? Good so far? Plus, now how about the next one? 2xy times what will go back to 18x squared y? 9x. Because again, the x1 will add to be x2. And finally, 2xy times minus 2 will go back to minus 4xy. Done. Good for the first one? So just take out what's in common, one big parenthesis. Want to try number 2? 4-term polynomial by grouping. So 4 terms. Remember how we do that? The 2-2 split thing, first 2, last 2. First 2, last 2. So you take out what's in common for the first 2, and take out what's in common for the last 2. So feel free to chuck with those around you. Get as much as you can out of this hour and 15 minutes we have together twice a week. So what do the first 2 have in common? 3 and x. Right? Good so far. And then 3x times what will go back to 3x squared? X minus 3x times what will go back to minus 15xy? 5y. Good so far? See how that 3x times x will be 3x squared, 3x times minus 5y will be minus 15xy? Good with that? Now we do the back 2, right? So now the back 2. What do these guys have in common? Now, and they're led with a minus sign, so we got to do minus, right? Whatever sign is in the very middle, that's what you've got to keep in the middle. So what goes into 4x and 20y? What do they have in common? just 4, huh? Here we go. Minus, remember that minus is his baby. That's his minus. So remember, it goes with him wherever he may go. Minus 4 times what would go back to be minus 4x? Well, just x. And minus 4 times what would go back to, careful now, plus 20. Yeah, it would be minus 5y, right? Because minus times minus will go back to plus. Right? Minus 4, that's his minus sign, his baby, times minus 5y, go back to plus 20. And that produces a match. Whenever you do the 2, 2, you're always going to get a match. So we're doubly confident that that's right. Can we stop right there?
There's a horse.
Yeah, we got the loose horse. I don't know if you remember. You can't have any minuses or pluses loose outside of parentheses. It just means you're not done. You have one more step of factoring. And that also tells you how to look at it, huh? It says, look at it that way. That's the separator. So this is one big term and this is another big term. What do they both have the same? Parenthesis x minus 5y. So you put a parenthesis x minus 5y in the front. Sorry, it's kind of bad writing there. And then start a new parenthesis. And 5 is just getting worse. Isn't this crazy? All right. So, and then what goes in the inside? 3x minus 4. How you doing on that? Remember that? See how that works? See when they have the same parenthesis, it's like we cross them out. Bring it down here, and then just write down the leftovers. Do you see what I mean? Right? This is gone. This is gone. What's left over? 3x minus 4. 3x minus 4. See how that works? Questions I can answer? All right. Want to try number 3? Factor the trinomial completely. Oh, let's look at the options too. Let me change the screen. So you take out what's in common. They all have 3x, and you do the one big parenthesis, and then in a minute we'll go to the 2 parentheses. So 3 things in here. 3x times what will go back to 3x cubed? X squared. Oops. X squared. And then 3x times what will go back to 27x squared? 9x, because the 1 powers add. And how do you get 42x? What is that, 14? 14. We good to there? But then you have to do one more step. We have 3 terms in that parenthesis. What's the only thing we're going to try to do with 3 terms? Foil, huh? We'll just think about, does it foil? Can we do the foil thing? So F-O-I-L, huh? So we leave the 3x in the front, do the 2 parentheses. So front times front to be front. That's just x and x, huh? And last times last to be 14. What times what's 14? 2 and 7. And it doesn't matter the order. Why does this one not matter the order? Because they're both just with an x. They both just have an x. If one of them had like a 2x and the other was a regular x or something like that, if they had different fronts, then it would matter who you're next to. It would matter if you're next to a 2x or next to a regular x. That would be different. But this one, the fronts are just both the same, so it doesn't matter. What signs do we know? How do you do the signs?
Bottom bigger, middle bigger.
Yeah, so you look at the middle. The sign in the middle always goes to the bigger. And in this case, it also goes to the smaller. It always goes to the bigger. Sometimes it also goes to the smaller. Sometimes the smaller is opposite. But the bigger always takes the middle. So that's it, right? Both positive makes 9 in the middle, makes 14. We got it. You could swap the order. You know, it's the same thing if you put the x plus 7 first. Is that good? How we doing? Good so far? Questions I can answer? So good. All right, want to try number 4? Another 3-termer. So for three-termer, again, we're thinking FOIL, right? F-O-I-L. So two parentheses. X and X in the front to make X squared. Hey, what letters? We need Y and Y in the back to make Y squared in the back, don't we? We good there? X is in the front to make X squared in the front. Y is in the back to make Y squared in the back. Now, what numbers to make 24? What times what makes 24?
6 and 4.
6 and 4, 3 and 8, 2 and 12, 1 and 24. There's actually a lot of options. Probably 6 and 4, 4 and 6. Order doesn't matter because the fronts are the same, right? So now, how do the signs work? Sign in the middle always goes to the bigger. So minus 6. And then the smaller could go either way. Which way does the smaller go to make minus 2 in the middle? Plus, huh? Because plus 4 minus 6 makes minus 2 in the middle, doesn't it? And they multiply to be negative 24. We good there? Questions? Can you get them at about this pace? This is about the pace you need to be able to do for the exam. Anything I can answer? All right. Factor. First step, take out what's in common. Right, always GCF. So take out what's in common first and do the one big parenthesis, then go on to the two. On the test we take Monday, it's multiple choice. I would look down at the options at this point, and you'll see a bunch of different answers, and that really helps with GCF, because you'll see that there's a lot of the answers will have like what, 3xy? 3xy, because that's the GCF, right? 3xy in front, and that'll really help you out. Just look down real quick at the answers, and you'll see, oh, a bunch of them have 3x in front. I bet the GCF is 3x. The multiple choice will really help out. Sometimes the multiple choice can fool you, you know, in some other chapters, but in this chapter, it's super helpful. So go ahead and look down at the answers. You'll see that 3x, and you go, oh, yeah, got to take out a 3x first. Oh, 3xy, you're right, 3xy. 3xy, you're right. 3xy. And then put inside whatever works and take it from there. Does it, maybe nothing more happens. I don't remember. Nothing else. So see 3xy times x squared and 3xy times, to go by this, plus 4xy. And 3xy times, get this, minus 21y squared. Oh yeah, that's going to go further, huh? Okay, so then one more step. One more step. Now with the three terms, you do the FOIL thing, huh? You're becoming a master at factoring. You're feeling more and more comfortable with it.
I want to be a math teacher now.
You get the first time. Gets a lot easier second. I mean, really, the secret to math is a lot of repetition. It really is. You do it the second time, it's a lot better. All right, so 3xy is in the front. And now we're going to do the two parentheses. And we're thinking FOIL, right? F-O-I-L. So front times front to be x squared. What is it? Just x and x. And then we'll do last times last to be 21y squared. How do you get 21y squared? 3y, and you got to have y's on them, huh? 3y, 7y, right? To get that, right? You have y's in the back to get y squared in the back. Good. Now, how does the middle work? Sign in the middle always goes where? To the bigger. So plus, and then the smaller can be plus or minus depending on what you need. So plus 7... minus 3 will make plus 4, and they'll multiply to be negative 21. Good? Questions? All right. 6 is more difficult. What's the first step? GCF, but there is none, right? There's nothing in common. Nothing goes into 40, 39, and 40. So skip it. Just go right to the two parentheses. And there is no GCF. Go right to two parentheses. But this is a harder one. Why is it harder? Number in the front. There's a number in the front. That's how you know the harder ones from the easier ones. Number in the front when you go to the two parentheses. You know what I mean? Look back with me for a second. You might think, no, there are numbers in the front. Well, yeah, but it came out. Then we think, yeah, see, there's a number in the front. Yeah, but I took it out as a GCF. And when I got down to business on the actual FOIL, there was no number in the front, you see. So that was the case on the first 5. They were easier. 6, 7, these ones will be harder. So I know a lot of you have seen the slide and divide method that I taught last semester. I mean, feel free to do that if you want, or you might know the bow tie method. I don't care what method you use. Get comfortable with some method. First step, GCF, there is none. So then we think, okay, so FOIL, FOIL, 2 parentheses, and I'm saying, okay, front times front to be 40, x squared. So what times what's 40? If you're not sure, if you're looking, I don't know, maybe I should do 4 and 10. I wouldn't do 4 and 10. Remember, it's usually the numbers, I mean, it might be. I don't know. So I would start with 5 and 8. Now, how am I, if you're not sure, take 40 and just start dividing by some numbers. Just try different numbers in your calculator. 5 times 8 are closer together than 4 times 10. It's not a guarantee. We just have to guess around for a while. But it's usually the numbers closer together. You know what I mean? 4 and 10 are only 6 apart. Whereas 5 and 8 are, 5 and 8 are only 3 apart. They're closer than 4 and 10, which are 6 apart, right? So probably it's 5 and 8. Maybe not, though. Let's try it. 5 and 8, or 8 and 5. The order on the first two doesn't matter, but on the back two it will. It matters who you're next to, right? So we got 5 and 8 here. Now, if I'm going to do 5 and 8 for the back two, what have we learned? I'm on this 40, this back 40 now.
You need to put 8 and 5.
Yeah, I can't put the 5 there, can I? Because you're never going to have two numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common, let alone are the very same number. Right? Why not? Because we already looked for the GCF on step 1. This couldn't be, because they would have 5 in common, right? And that can't be, because there was no GCF from the beginning. How could there be one later? Right? We did the GCF on step 1. So there'll never be commonness later. So that cannot be. So it kind of helps you out. You know the 8 must go here and the 5 must go there. I don't know if that works. But that's the first thing to try. No signs yet. Remember, we do the signs later. How do we try? What do I mean by try? How do we try that? Yeah, FOIL it out. Basically, FOIL it out. I mean, that's really it. I gave you what I thought might be a little help. It's just the OI, the 2 inner, 2 outer, right? These two and these two, the O and the I.
25 and 64.
Yeah, just use your calculator. See if you can get it to work. Right? See what I'm doing? The 2 inner, the 2 outer. This is 64. This is 25. And what's supposed to go here?
39.
Yeah, the middle. And now, bring the sign with it. Minus 39. You tracking with me? Yeah. Everybody see what I'm doing here? Maybe if this didn't grab you the first time, maybe that's how I always was in math. When I went through first time, it was very confusing. I kind of struggled and barely got stuff, and then when I would review, it would make a lot more sense. Maybe that'll happen for you. Does this FOIL thing making more sense now?
And then you
Front times front to make front. Last times last to make last. And then the hard part is field, which is OI, 2 inner, 2 outer. That's the O and I. Outer, outer, inner, inner. Right? And then what's their target? It's the middle term. Notice that's the first time I put any signs on, is I write down the middle term with its sign, and then I look here and go, okay, now can these guys do that? Can't you use your calculator? The sign in the middle must go on the bigger, huh? Like always. So try putting that sign on the bigger. And what would the other sign have to be? Plus, now does that even work? Oh, it does. Just take your minus 64 plus 25, it is minus 39. So there it is. Now I've got to get the signs to go up into the parentheses, huh? How do they travel up? Yeah, right. This one right here always goes straight there, doesn't it? That's how you get minus 64, right? Minus 8 times 8 is the minus 64. I mean, and the bottom goes to the back, right? BB, I tried to help you remember. Bottom, back, BB. Bottom one goes to the back every time. And there we go. It's factored. How we doing? I think that is a little quicker than, what's it called, the other methods? Slide and divide and bow tie. Because if you did slide and divide and bow tie, you start with 40 times 40, 1,600. That's why I kind of shied away from that other method. The numbers just got so big. Whereas this is just 8585. This is quicker. If you're going to go on to higher math, calculus and stuff, this is what everybody does. Higher on. Because they've just foiled a zillion times. And they can basically foil just by looking at it. And you will too. If you do that much math year after year after year after year, you've foiled so many times by then that you could pretty much just write it down. Questions I can answer. Same kind of thing. Yeah, the whole parenthesis can move. Yeah, that's fine. The whole parenthesis can jump. Exactly. So first step, GC out. What's in common to all three? Nothing, right? But it's good that you're looking for it. But there's nothing in common. Go right to the two parentheses. Okay, so FOIL. Please do be checking with people at your table. It's doubly beneficial. You know the greatest thing to learn, you probably heard it before, it's not a big secret, but how you learn something really well is you explain it to somebody else. Because it makes you think it's super organized. I remember when I finished my studies at school, I remember saying, I'm at the pinnacle of my math knowledge right now. When I finished my master's degree, I remember I took my oral exams, and I thought, this is more math than I'll ever know. I'll start losing it from this point. But it wasn't true. When I started teaching math, I had to think it more clear than I'd ever had to as a student. So anyway, explain it to the people nearby. It'll benefit you a lot. So, right, so we write the word FOIL. What does it stand for? Front times front to make 45, right? Right? We getting the hang of that? That's what that's why I write the word FOIL. That's what that F stands for. Is the front and the front. So what times what's 45? Just use calculator. I don't expect you to be perfect and remember all your times tables. Probably use calculator. 5 and 9, 9 and 5. Order doesn't matter, whatever. Order on the first two doesn't matter. But then order on the back two will matter, right? Because somebody will be with a 5x and somebody will be with a 9x and that'll be different. You with me on that? So order in the first two doesn't matter. But when they're different, then the order in the back two does matter, okay, because the interaction. Now, I jump to the L. I save the OI for last, right? Save the middle for last. Jump to the 21. What times what makes 21? 3 and 7, right? So I'll go 3 and 7. But that's not a good way to do the 3 and the 7, is it? Why is that for sure not right?
Because you have the 3 and the 9.
Yeah, remember you're never going to have two numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common. 3 and 9, what goes into both of them? 3, so that can't be. You're never going to have two numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common. No way. So that tells you, that helps, right? Then you go, oh, okay, I don't even need to try that. I can just put the 7 here and the 3 there right away. See, 9 and 7 have nothing in common. 5 and 3 have nothing in common. That's a maybe. That might have a chance at working. So let's see if it's right. What do? We So we've got this part working, we got that part working, right? Front and front's making 45, last and last is making 21. Now you got to check the oi, which is the 2 inner and the 2 outer. 5 times 7 is 35, 3 times 9 is 27. Draw your line. What's your goal? It's the middle, minus 8x. For the first time, I put the sign. That's the first sign that I'm thinking about now. The middle, right here. So can 35 and 27 make minus 8? Well, the sign in the middle always goes on the bigger, doesn't it? So it would have to go, if it's right, it would have to go on the 35, and that would be plus. Use your calculator. It is right. That is minus 8, huh? So how do the signs get back into parentheses? Straight up, and the BB, bottom to the back. Always. And there we go. You could swap the order. Like you could have, what? You could have, let me swap it. You could have, come on, 5x plus 3 first, and then 9x minus 7. Fine, that's the same answer either way. Right, you can always move the entire parenthesis. You just got to keep the 5x with the 3 wherever it may go, and the 9x with the minus 7 wherever it may go. Good? Questions? All right. Factor that one. A lot of factors. What's first step on every factoring problem? GCF. Take out what's in common, right? So do that first. Take out. So let me just help with that right now. So you would see 3y. So remember, you do one big parenthesis, then you go on to the 2, huh? So do a 3y, do the one big parenthesis. So 3y times 7y squared minus 33y minus 10, right? We good? That's the first step. And now I don't know if more will happen from there. Oh, it will. It will. Yeah. So go on from there. So we're thinking FOIL. So I'm going to leave the 3y in the front. 2 parentheses. Front times front to be 7y squared. 7y and a regular y, huh? Good so far. And now you jump to the back, right? Last times last to be 10. What times what's 10? 5 and 2. Now there's 2 ways to do it. I'm going to do it wrong. 5 and 2, it's not that way. But here's how do I know? Well, I do the oi, right? The 2 arcs. You with me? So the 2 inner, the 2 outer, the 2 inner is 5. The 2 outer is 14. Can they make the middle, which is minus 33? No way. No way in the world 5 and 14 are going to be able to make minus 33. Does everybody see how I know that's wrong? But now I can swap the order on the back too, because that makes a difference, right? Somebody's with a 7y, somebody's with a regular y. Are we all seeing this? Is this good? See how it's not able to make that middle? And so then I go, okay, let's swap them. Put the 2 here, the 5 there, try again. Now the 2 inner make 2 and 35. Yeah, those can make minus 33, right? Sign in the middle goes on the bigger. Plus sign there. Plus 2 minus 35 makes minus 33. How do the signs get back in the parentheses? Straight up, bottom back. This bottom one goes back. And there we go. Is that good? Questions on that one? You could swap the parentheses. The order doesn't matter. You can move the whole parenthesis. You can't move the things within the parenthesis, but you can move the whole parenthesis. Questions? Good. All right, let's try number 9. What's first step in every factoring problem? GCF. Right? What do they both have in common? 9y. 9y. So you got to do that first. Got to do the GCF first. So 9y. And that leaves 4x squared minus 1. Right? Because that 9y times that 4 would be 36, and then that'd be the 9. We good? Everybody good to there? And now, what do I do with 4x squared minus 1? We leave the 9y in the front. What is it?
Two parentheses.
Yeah, 2 parentheses. 2x, 2x. 1, 1. How do you do the signs to make negative 1? 1, whoop, I messed that up. 1 plus 1 minus, huh? 1 plus 1 minus, done. All right, try number 10. It's a big number. Use your calculator. Try hitting the square root button. Let me give you a hint. Take the square root of 256. That'll tell you what times itself is 256. Or you can just guess around, 10 times 10, 12 times 12, you'll find it eventually that way. The square root button saves some time. Hit the square root of 256, and you'll get 16, right? 16, and then you go. So you go right away. 16 times 16 is 256.
Plus or minus? Like that.
That's what square root does, right? It says what time is itself. Okay, so 2 parentheses. What times what is x to the 4th? X squared, x squared. What times what's 256? 16. Find out by the square root thing. 16, 16. How do you get negative 256? 1 plus 1 minus. Done. Nope, not done. Do you know there's more to do? That's not it. We have to do one more step because we have another double-double. Right? These are more double-doubles. Break them down again. Right? They'll break down one more time. The difference between double-double and triple-triple. This is double. Right? X squared is 2 x's, not 3. 16 is 2 4's, not 3. Right? This is a double-double. And so is this one. Double. 4 times 4. And x times x. Right? You with me? It's a double-double. You good on that? So you want to have on your 3x5 card the rules for double-double and the rules for triple-triple. So double-double can break down, but not the plus one, notice. Whereas triple-triple breaks down to little parentheses and big. That's not what we have here. We'll have that in a minute. Right? Because it's double-double. So remember what the stories with double-double? It means this guy is done. He's good. Now he's part of the answer, but he's not breaking down anymore because he's a plus double-double. Does that make sense? Whereas the other one this one will break into x plus 4, x minus 4. Now we're done. So everybody see that?
So if it's adding, it stays, but if it's subtracting, you could break
Exactly. If it's adding, it stays. For the double-double. Now for triple-triple, they both work, right? That's why that's on the board. For triple-triple, they both work. But for double-double, adding stays. Minus breaks down. Now, if I was you, I'd be there going, why? Who made that crazy rule? Why isn't it x plus 4? It should just both be plus, shouldn't it? That's what I would think if I had not seen it before. I would think, shouldn't it? Why isn't it just both plus? That's x squared plus 16. It's just both. It should be both plus, though. I understand that this one is 1 negative, 1 positive because they got to make a negative 16. I get that. But here we're just trying to make plus 16. So just make them both plus. It'll be fine. Why is that not right? Yeah, if you really checked this and FOILed it, because that's what we're doing here. We're saying what would multiply and go back. What you would find is you would get plus 4x, plus 4x, plus 16, and you would get a middle term of 8x, which you never really had. It's not right. So you need to have the plus and the minus to get rid of the middle term, but then you can't have plus in the back. Long story, it doesn't work. It just simply doesn't work. It's not true, bottom line. Plus double must stay. It is not x plus 4x plus 4. That would be x squared plus 8x plus 16. That would not be x squared plus 16. So plus double stays. The minus double breaks down. There's our final answer. We're done. You might wonder, well, how do you even know when you're done? Well, anything that's a first pay, here we're done. How I know this is a plus, that never goes further. That's a plus. Now this is a minus, but he's not a double anymore. You might think, yeah, 4 is, yeah, but x, this is not. That's just a regular x. It's a single double, if you want. It's not a double anymore. It's done. Everybody see that? See how I know I'm done? There's no more double. Well, the only double left is a plus. There's no more minus doubles. Right? All right. Try that one. So what in the world is this thing? Triple. Right? So what that means is you need to write that 8x cubed as 3 things multiplied. What times itself? How's it a triple? What is the triple? And here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go 2, 2, 2, x, x, x. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But I think it'll be a lot more helpful for you instead to go 2x times 2x times 2x. See how that's a triple? 2x, 2x, 2x? That is 8x cubed. Now what about the 125? What times itself 3 times is 125? 5. So this one's going to be 5y times 5y times 5y. So it's a triple, isn't it? So the game plan for triple, remember how it works? Little parenthesis and a big. Instead of 2 littles like for the double. It's 1 little, 1 big. You have 2 things in the little, 3 things in the big. Can you finish it from there? Give you a 30 seconds. All right, so 1 left. One of these right. 2 left. 2x, 2x. 4x squared. 2 right. 5y, 5y. 25y squared. And 1 of each in the middle. 2x times 5y. 10xy, huh? Is that good? That's 1 of each in the middle. Soap the signs. So what did we start with? Minus. So same as what you start with. Opposite of what you started with. Always positive at the back. There we go. Questions I can answer? If it's too fast, it'll be on YouTube later. Let's go to number 12. Now we're starting to solve equations. We have an equal sign. So, in fact, let me just put up real quick. If you have x squared with an equal sign, what's the game plan? Step 1? Get a 0. Yeah, this is a really good thing to have in your 3x5 card. If you see x squared with an equals, all of a sudden we have equal signs. We haven't had that in the first 11 problems. All of a sudden we have equations, left side, right side, solve for x kind of thing. So step 1, get a 0. Step 2, factor. Which is like the 2 parentheses. Step 3, each part equals 0 and solve. Each part equals 0 and solve. Remember that game plan? So it's good to have that on your 3x5 card. Okay, so step 1, I'm going to jump this 14 over to get a 0, huh? And what happens when things jump over the equal sign? Sign changes. That becomes a minus 14, doesn't it? Like that? Good so far, minus 14. And now I'm going to factor. So step 1, get a 0. Step 2, factor. So this means the 2 parentheses. We're thinking FOIL. This is the easier kind because there's no number in the front. So just X is in the front. What goes in the back? Yeah, 2 and 7 to make 14. Sign in the middle always goes on the bigger. The smaller can go either way. What's he going to do to make minus 5 in the middle? Plus 2 minus 7 makes minus 5 in the middle. Multiplies to be minus 14. So there's step 1, get a 0. Step 2, factor. And now, step 3. What do we do in step 3? Each one equals 0, yeah. Each one equals 0. And yeah, you just jump it over. It's just going to switch signs, huh? Minus 2, jump it over, positive 7. The answers are minus 2 and plus 7. If you wanted to skip that step and just say, hey, whatever's in the parentheses, it'll just be opposite. That's correct. Good on that one. All right, I'm gonna skip 13, even though 13 is a hard one. I won't get to the other type. It's the same type. It's just harder factoring. It's on my YouTube from last semester, so feel free to. There's that other one. You can jump. There's there'll be 2 practice exams out there on YouTube. Let's go to 14. Yeah, let's do 14. That one's a little different. So try 14.
Factoring.
14, yeah, let's do 14. Exactly, let's do 14. And we got to, step 1's already done, huh? We've already got the 0. So we just go right into step 2, which is factor. So how do you factor that thing? What's the first step in every factoring problem? GCF. Take out what's in common. What do all 3 of these have? X, huh? So take out an X. It leaves x squared minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. Okay, and now this will factor further with the 2 parentheses. Right? So x is in the front. What makes 24? What's 24? A lot of things. 4 times 6, 2 times 12, 3 times 8. But the one that'll make the 11 is 3 and 8, huh? What signs do we need on the 3 and the 8? Both negative makes minus 11. Multiplies to be plus 24, right? 2 negatives multiply to be positive, but add to be a bigger negative, don't they? You with me on all that? When you're adding, subtracting signs, think about money. If you lose $3 and lose $8, you lost $11, huh? But 2 negatives multiply to be positive, don't they? So it's all good. That's the right factoring. Now, everybody good to there? What are the answers to this problem?
0.
Yeah, we have to set each part to 0. So the x alone is one part. equals 0. Then the x minus 3, then the x minus 8. All three of them. And then, so the answers are going to be 0, positive 3, positive 8, because, these guys are going to jump over and their signs change. So 0, positive 3, positive 8. 3 answers there. We good on there? Let's move on. I think 15 is too easy. Let's move to something. All right, try 17. So we're supposed to simplify that multiplication of two fractions problem. How are we going to simplify? Yeah, you've got to factor everything, huh? Have you noticed this whole test is basically factoring? Everything's factoring.
Then you want to flip it. This one in the bottom, you flip it.
No, because it's multiplication, it's not division.
So we get a big one, no? So we get x to the cube plus 2x squared minus 64x.
Okay, so I'm going to factor this part first. How does x squared minus 64 factor? X minus 8, x plus 8, right? 1 plus 1 minus, double, double. How do we factor this guy? And here, this denominator, it'll be x is in the front. This one's a FOIL, huh? Down here, this one's FOIL. So what times what? 16? 8 times 2. How do you get the minus in the middle? Minus on the bigger, plus on that guy. Minus 8 plus 2 makes minus 6. We good there?
Does it matter what order it goes in? Because I did x plus 2 first and then x minus 8.
That's totally good. Order doesn't matter. Times x plus 2 over x. Okay. Now, can we cancel anything?
Yes.
Yeah, x minus 8. X plus, you can cancel straight up and down or diagonal, anything in the top with anything in the bottom, huh? What are we left with? X plus 8 over x. X plus 8. Can I cancel those x's?
No.
No, because of the Costco glue, they're glued on the top. So there's the answer to that one. Good. How about number 18? Let's finish up with 18. To divide, that's divide in the middle. So how do we do divide? Okay, so it's keep and then change and then flip the one on the right. Keep, change, flip. So keep the one on the left the same. Keep it. Change to times and flip the one on the right. Is that good? Keep, change, flip. And then cancel whatever you can. X to the 8th cancels x to the 8th.
Can you cancel out the y? Y to the third and y to the third?
Oh, they're side by side, so they will add. Good question. They'll make y to the 4th on the bottom. Everybody see that? That y to the 1 and the y to the 3. They're, things on the same level add.
It's a y to the third. It's a y to the third.
Oh, yeah. Why did I just write y? Thank you. So it's going to be y to the 6th down there, huh? Yeah. Good, thank you. So the y to the 3rd and the y to the 3rd will add to be y to the 6th. Yeah. So things on the same level, both bottom or both top, add. And then anything else happen there? Yeah, the 3 goes into 9 3 times. So we have 3 times 7 on the top, so that's 21 over y to the 6th. Does that make sense? We kind of ran out of time. There's a few we didn't do.